Hey, Rio here, and this is your week one attendance for CIT 94 JavaScript at Fresno City College. So by this time, hopefully you've watched a couple of videos from me already. So this is recorded before the start of the fall 2019 semester. It's actually recorded on Saturday before the official start on the semester of Monday. And you'll notice that every week I will record, you'll have video from me, but specifically you'll have this attendance video. And so what this video is for is to really connect with you based on the content that we're covering that week, and really just to give me a way to report attendance as well, because I actually have a 1 point associated with attendance, but it's not part of your overall grade, but it is something that I have to report to the campus. So what you want to do is you're going to watch this video. I'm going to ask you towards the end to reply with some specific data that I'm going to ask for. But what I'm just going to do pretty quickly here is just go over kind of what you need to be focused on for this start of the semester. Okay, so I'm glad you're here. I know you have choices about what to take and where to take programming classes. And these days, there's so many choices. So I work hard to make a quality course. It's kind of different because in my class, we're actually using not a textbook, but we're using a course on the web from Udemy. If you haven't already checked it out, check out the welcome video where I talk about that. And so I know this is a little different. And so the idea is that you're going to learn, right? You're actually going to practice and you're going to create, so that, we bring all those things together to give you this skill. And translation of skill is the goal of this course, so that you can walk away. And some of you are going to come in with some knowledge and some of you are going to come in with none. And it's really okay. Wherever whatever skill level you're bringing in is really okay, and you'll be fine, because this is a beginning class. But just to reiterate here, 9 weeks, 4 units, right? So I should do that right. 9 weeks, that's how many weeks? 4 units. So there's going to be quite a bit of content, and it will be important for you to keep up. The attendance is one of the things I look at. Probably more importantly, I look at, are you actually getting work done? And if I see neither of those things happening, then you're probably going to hear from me going, hey, are you still interested in this class? So that's just kind of the way it goes. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn to the screen just for a second, look at some of the content you have to consume this week, and tell you what I want in your reply. Okay, so hopefully some of you have actually, somebody already joined. So hopefully you've already watched the welcome message. If not, watch that. I also today created our method for having a class interactive chat. That little notification was actually somebody joining, which is cool. And then here is your week one attendance. So obviously these first 3 are not graded as far as affecting your grade. These are your graded items. And the thing about this class, and it clips really quick, is that this item is actually due the first night of the semester. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to grade the next day. So, if you happen to be working after midnight, know that as long as it's there the morning after it's due, then you're fine. But, also don't wait that long. And I know this one's going to clip real quick. So the most important thing here is that there's video to walk you through this, like everything. But you need to actually get your GitHub account and send it to me, and you can use the inbox to do this. And again, I'm reiterating a little bit of this because I want to really make sure you get this done. And many of you already have, which is totally awesome. But once you get that GitHub account, which, by the way, I didn't mention this, but somebody asked me, is you actually don't get a paid account, get a free account. So just to be clear, that was brought up as a question. So I want to make sure you do that. And I did give a heads up that this actually was recorded last year, but I've reviewed it and it is all still really great information. So that's the first item you have due. If you're not familiar with GitHub, then that'll take a little bit of a jump to get over. But again, seek help if you need it. That's an important part. Also, class chat is there to help you and support you as well. Okay. So just a couple things. JavaScript is really popular. It's having it's had its moment for a couple years, but it really seems to right now. And I just today decided to do a quick search, and see what the most popular languages are. And I started looking at them. And when you ask questions like this of Google or any search engine, you have to really look at what the website itself to see if it's credible or not, because there's different websites that will. This is a very common thing people ask, so you have to be careful. So the one I actually landed on was Codeburst.io, pretty common site. And actually, if you look here, anyway, let me just show you here. This is from June this year, and it talks about it. And this, honestly, I didn't plan it this way. And they talk about how they went about finding this, but JavaScript is number one in their and the results of their survey. So it's great to learn JavaScript because it's everywhere. JavaScript is eating the world. Both you're going to learn client. We're going to, hopefully, if you stay with me, we're going to also go into the server side in the back 9 weeks. So it's a good time to learn JavaScript. So here's what I want. In your reply, I want 2 things. One is, which editor are you going to choose to use? Now, I have recommended VS Code. Now, I'm actually on my Chromebook. I'm running VS Code inside of my Linux subsystem in this case, but I will actually use Mac. I will use all operating systems. I try not to be biased towards one or the other, but which editor are you going to use? Because having said that, what I'm inherently saying is you don't have to use VS Code. So you can use something else if you want. It doesn't, quite frankly, matter to me that much. VS Code is very popular. A lot of people have converted to it. Good on Microsoft that they've created something that's very, very nice to use. It's not a full, what I'd call IDE, but it has a lot of those features. So, what are you using? Are you using, let's see, Sublime? Are you using... Well, I doubt you're using WebStorm, although you might if you've taken Todd McLeod's class. Although Todd, if you know Todd, is actually converting to VS Code. Now, Todd's the other teacher that you have in the web development program here at Citi. He's actually converting over to VS Code as well. All right, so that's the first thing. In your reply, which editor are you going to use? And if you're using, and why? Are you just using it because I'm using it? Are you using Sublime? Are you using Atom? Or Brackets? There's other ones out there. There's cloud ones. I mean, there's all different ones you can choose from. The second thing I want to know, so there's 2 things I want to know, is do you know that this class has a code review requirement? That you're either going to have to come see me or you're going to have to use some kind of virtual tool, and in this case, we're using Hangouts, to connect with me twice this semester to do code review for something you're going to create. Do you know that? And and then, of course, in the reply here, you could also ask any questions that you may have, but also class chat is a great place to do that. Okay, so trying to keep these videos relatively short. I'm not always great at that, but I am trying. So it's nice to have you here. I'm glad you're here. I will give you more content as we move into the next couple of weeks for code review, how that's going to work. I will have more content released. Right now you have week 1, and I will hopefully have probably Monday, week 2 available, but all of the code ups for the Udemy course are available, which sections we're going to do. Some are shorter than others. So in the beginning, it's like an hour 15, but as we get further into the course, some of those we're doing sections of the Udemy course are going to be longer. So that's why it's great to work ahead. All right, so glad you're here, and I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget, reply 2 things I want, which editor are you using, and do you know that about the code review requirements for this class? Talk to you later. Bye.